PV92 is enigmatic, because it is the oldest human transposon or jumping gene. It could spread around the globe, and consequently is carried by all modern humans across all continents. Transposons or jumping genes can occupy and mark a large part, 45%, of our DNA, so they can be very clear markers. They are inherited and so they are clear ancestral markers, and very often used as such in all kinds of research. Consequently, PV92 probably is the first human ancestral marker. It probably is millions of years old. Jumping genes are seen by consensus as an old, now extinct opportunistic virus that introgressed into the human DNA, but we of Origin for Existence do not agree with that version. We of Origin for Existence hypothesize that PV92 is a marker of very old hybridizations of humans, and argue the reasons for this hypothesis in other videos. For now we mention that jumping genes can create duplications and deletions, as well as extreme variability, and consequently would be the ideal instruments in all cases where hybridizations are desired. We of Origin for Existence hypothesize that PV92 seems like an extinct virus for consensus, only because we humans lost the knowledge to hybridize by means of it, and the fact that it is not used in hybridizations is the reason it is not active anymore. But all this is only background, because we will look at PV92 in its function as the oldest ancestral marker. PV92 points to out of Americas and away from out of Africa. PV92 has the highest frequencies in South America, especially in certain borders of the Amazon forest. This way PV92 not only proves out of America and Native Americans to be the ancestors of all humans, but also that humans existed and thrived in the Amazon forest and South America probably for millions of years. As long as PV92 remains the oldest human ancestral marker, it also proves there were ancestor Native Americans that were never hybridized until that point. Further, we of Origin for Existence claim that following hybridizations took place on the remaining ancestor Native Americans. Following hybridizations do not necessarily involve PV92, and possibly not even jumping genes. We of Origin for Existence claim that one of the oldest and enigmatic following hybridizations is the hybridization from Y-DNA haplogroup Q to Y-DNA haplogroup A, starting out with A00. We of Origin for Existence claim that Y-DNA haplogroup A spread, or rather was carried by the hybridizing elites on ships propelled by one of the Atlantic currents, to the west coast of Africa and etc., but also and possibly first on ships propelled by one of the Pacific currents to Asia. This fact of transport on more than one route, especially the fact that the migration routes do not depart from Africa, complicates for consensus to safely determine whether the origin of haplogroup A is African or Asian. The Americas are systematically not considered and not researched by consensus, and in all cases of eventual confrontation consensus gets away with it by suddenly bringing up improbable and paradigmatic drift, and/or bottleneck and founder effect hypotheses. This in a very unscientific behavior. PV92 hybridization per Amazon Amerindian tribe. We researched which Amazon Amerindians and tribes underwent the above PV92 hybridization, and by how much. We also tracked through what routes through the Americas, and out of the Americas PV92 can be detected, and how far on that particular route it can be detected. This is the subject of other videos. We present more ancestral markers, and more about ancestral markers in our videos, with some more in the pipeline. In the case of relevant questions in the comment section of this video, we plan to answer. Thank you all, and good luck to you all.